The following announcement is paid for by the Wrestling with Nerds.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
This honky tonk man, greatest intercontinental champion of all time, and you're watching Wrestling with Nerds podcast. Yes, that's my favorite. Shake, rattle, and roll.
Hey there, the name's Newcomb, Duke Newcomb, and you're watching the Nerds Doing Nerd Things podcast. For some unknown reason, enjoy.
What's going on, wrestling nerds, and welcome to this week's episode of the Wrestling with Nerds podcast. We are going to be reviewing Backlash from Lyon, France. Ryan probably should have got a drink before we got started. And other wrestling news.
Bonjour! Oh, sorry.
Yeah, like the big announcement that came at the... Or as
Nobody
AJ
heard
puts
that.
it, the what?
Amish NASCAR.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah. Guys, I'm glad we went to Philadelphia because I am not going to Las Vegas for WrestleMania.
Hey, how expensive is parking out in Vegas, Ryan?
Evidently, parking at the football stadium is $100 per car.
Yeah, but I don't think any of us were driving to that one.
I actually looked. Well, you can't actually look for actual flights for those dates because it's not available yet. But, like, it actually wasn't much more expensive than what we just spent for Philly.
I'm
to
curious.
fly out.
I'm curious if
And
we're
even
gonna get
a
like.
hotel.
Imagine getting like Monday Night Raw, SmackDown, and NXT in the Sphere.
That's a rumor. That would be nuts. If they announce that they're going to be at the Sphere, that might entice me enough to even remotely try to accomplish that.
How mad do you think Dana White would be?
The UFC's already going to be there before WrestleMania.
Oh, are they? I know he was trying to. I didn't.
Yeah,
How
they're
big is
they're there.
internally? How big is that thing?
It's pretty big. From what I think what I understand is the UFC is going to be there in September for Hispanic Independence Day. I think that's the holiday that they're going to be at. Basically.
There's a Hispanic Independence.
I guess I remember him talking about it being. I think he confused people at first because he kept talking about Independence Day, and then it realized that it was Mexican Independence Day in September.
Yeah, I can see where that can mess people up.
But yeah, Dana White, they're already. I kind of like this whole thing with WWE and UFC actually coming together on things. Like we got, what is it, NXT Battleground now has been announced. It's going to be at the UFC, basically like the NXT of UFC facility for July or June or July. That's gonna be really cool.
Are they basically gonna run like NXT Underground but in an octagon? I'm curious.
Well, I think the NXT Battleground is the pay-per-view.
Is it?
Yeah, they're running it. They're just running it out of the UFC's like training, basically just like the Performance Center type thing that UFC has, which I kind of thought that was going to come along anyway. Now that these two are together, that WWE could kind of share that structure with UFC to create that whole thing where they.
Technically, didn't UFC have it first with Ultimate Fighter?
They had the first show. I don't really think that was granted, I don't know for sure, but I don't think that was a full on like performance UFC facility type deal.
So we got Mania. They moved Mania, by the way. They pushed it 3 weeks.
It's Easter Sunday. It's Easter Saturday and Sunday still.
Oh, well, Easter's late next year.
From what I was reading,
Easter was in March this year.
Yeah, from what I've read, this falls on an Easter weekend. So I think they did that because the city of Las Vegas wants to try to take advantage of that's probably a dead weekend for them
Easter
because
weekend in Sin
because
City.
because of the holiday and everything, people not going to
Praise the
Vegas for
Lord. Let's go
Easter.
gamble.
What are you talking about? You can praise the Lord and roll dice at the exact same time.
Yeah.
And even probably get fucking married by Elvis.
Who wouldn't want to get married by Elvis?
I'd rather get married by Hulk Hogan.
Can I get married by Elvis and have an Elvis sandwich? I'd be happy.
What?
You never heard of the Elvis sandwich?
No.
Elvis's favorite sandwich was a peanut butter, banana, and bacon sandwich. And I don't remember if they grilled it or like
Honey!
toasted it. I don't remember if they toasted it or not. I think they did, but it sounds
You
fantastic.
say that jokingly, but now I expect Jess to appear.
I mean, it's not. I'm sorry.
I hear her coming.
I'm sorry, Dale Jr. fans. It's not Hellman mayonnaise and banana, but I will take an Elvis.
Oh, it's Miracle Whip.
I hate you so much.
Mister, I put ketchup on
hate
everything.
I hate you with a passion.
All right. So,
I mean,
shall we get
I'm
into
game
the
for
pay-per-view?
taste testing. Sure.
Or, I'm sorry, the PLE from Lyon, France in the LDLC arena that had about 11,628 beautiful people in there. Well, the tagline for this pay-per-view was "Nightmares do come true," and
we need another
shit.
sound. I know what our next sound needs to be.
Them singing "Phenomenal."
No. It needs to be. Oh, so.
Why?
Yeah, but see,
What do you mean why?
Well, that place was rocking when Jey Uso came out. I'll give them that.
They were singing Randy Orton's theme song. They were singing Cody's theme song. They were singing a phenomenal song that the whole crowd apparently knew and rehearsed beforehand.
AJ, they were giving people epilepsy with their freaking Jey Uso.
But I mean, I know I've seen it on social media and everything the past weekend where United States fans need to step up their game. Look what these ones in France are doing. If it's 11,000 people in an arena, granted, they did sell the place out from what I read, whatever. I know it's not AEW, but if it's only 11,000 people, they're closer to an AEW number than a WWE number.
Yeah, in the States, we're at what, 16, 17 for a sellout?
Wasn't it 21 at Wells Fargo?
Yeah, but I mean,
Raw after Mania?
I mean, it's not a big arena. That's what I was getting at. So for them to be as loud as they were and it's shaking the camera and everything,
that was
I feel like that can be accomplished with a smaller arena. And not to mention they're like stacked on top of each other. It's like the sections literally went straight up. It wasn't like it was laid back going back.
And not taking anything away from the France crowd, they were on fire all night.
Well, yeah, 1, 2, simple 2 sounds way cooler in French.
Damn straight. And even Hunter said that, which was hilarious. He's like, I don't know what you guys were saying, but it sounded cool.
And somebody tells him, and he's like,
that guy told him, he goes, yeah, it sounded way cooler the way you guys were saying it.
So let's get right involved with match numero uno. The Bloodline, Solo Sikoa and Tama Tonga with a very scared and nervous Paul Heyman. Very much enjoying this storyline, even probably more than beforehand, to be honest with you. And they face Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. We know that the Bloodline goes over because of a certain debut, Ryan.
Yeah, it was the guy nobody was expecting. Everybody was expecting Jacob Fatu, and instead we got Tonga Loa.
What was their tag team?
Well, I mean, if you listen to Michael Cole and Corey Graves, they told you what their tag teams were. They said they were Guerrilla Warfare, and then they were Destiny. These guys were the Guerrillas of Destiny in New Japan, or God. These are the children of Haku. We know Tama Tonga is adopted, but Tangaloa is his biological son, and you can tell because he looks exactly like Haku.
Yeah, that's kind of scary.
To a newer wrestling fan in the WWE, you've probably never seen him before, but if you've watched in the early 2000s or the 2010s, Tangaloa has been in the WWE before. He was Camacho when Sin Cara was there, and then he left, and then this new Sakara showed up and was under the mask. I remember that Sin Cara had the huge feather tattoos on his shoulder.
Yeah,
that was Unico from NXT. Camacho was Unico's bodyguard guy. They came out on like a lowrider bicycle.
Mm-hmm.
So Tangaloa has been in the WWE before. He went to New Japan with Tama, and they created magic over there. I love the Gorillas of Destiny. They were probably one of my favorite things from New Japan for a couple of years. I was totally shocked. That he showed up because I thought he was injured, or I thought he had. I know he had kind of like fallen off the map in New Japan, and Tama kind of went on a singles run, and I kind of lost touch with New Japan a little bit, to be honest with you. But I thought he left, or he may have even retired by that point, or was injured. It never even dawned on me that hey, he might be coming to the WWE too. But it was quite a shock. I'm going to change it quickly from the Bloodline to the other team. Does it not look like Randy Orton and Kevin Owens are having fun?
They're having a fucking when they're on the barricade and Kevin Owens does the splash, and then Randy Orton gets up there, does this, and does the, and then hops down. They just look like they're having fun. And I love how this match started where bell doesn't ring and they just start beating the shit out of each other.
Do you think that's planned?
Yeah.
It's been building. It's been building for this whole thing, this match to have no rules for like the last week or so.
And then Nick Aldis comes out. Fine, you guys want to do this bullshit? We'll do this bullshit. Street fight. And
it was a good match. It was a good match.
I think it was one-sided for. We know who won. The Bloodline wins, but Tama Tonga was getting his butt kicked the whole match.
It was really nice to see Solo pick up the win, considering he says that winning is all that matters, and he hasn't won all year. So it was really, really nice to see him finally win something.
I mean, how many matches
be this? Well, I know he's faced LA Knight from like January to April on house shows, and he was like 36 or 46-0. So, or 0-46. I mean,
well, yeah, LA Knight has to go over.
Yeah. But
dummy,
it was great. It was a good match. You can tell. I did like the thing at the end where the Bloodlines is like doing the whole stupid one finger thing, and like Paul Heyman's like checking on Kevin Owens, and like so I was like, what the hell are you doing, man? And he's like, oh I'm sorry, and he's like, oh, you don't want to do this, but I'm doing it anyway.
It's like onto Kevin, pat, save me, pat, help, sit, help.
Yeah, and I don't. It's kind of weird though. It's like, how do you not have
MFT is?
My fucking Tongan.
Hey, where's
at this point? Is it my mother effing T's? Now that you got two T's.
It was.
I think AJ was looking for a motherfucker.
It's interesting. This story is getting better. I mean, it did fall off a cliff before WrestleMania, where it did get very dry. Like the last part, the ending of last year got very stale. But now, I mean, Heyman's not wrong when he said we were only in the bottom of the third. I feel like now we're picking up the innings, and now we're in the middle to ending. We could be in close by the time we get to Survivor Series. We might be in like the 7th inning here, and the 9th inning could be Roman and Rock at WrestleMania in Vegas.
I 100% think, and I know we've all seen it online. A Bloodline Civil War
Yeah, it's interesting because
Didn't the Bullet Club
I
do
was
that?
I was paying attention to another podcaster, the last professional broadcaster. Sam Roberts brought this up, and it never really dawned on me until he did. Do you realize Roman has never turned on somebody?
Not once.
Roman has never turned on somebody. Somebody has always turned on Roman.
Seth,
Roman show.
Sammy.
Do you know
Uso?
anytime that man touches a steel chair, it's his kryptonite? Whether he's hitting somebody in the back with it or he's getting hit in the back with it?
So theoretically, what we have happening right now is Roman Reigns is the only person I know that has turned and never actually turned on television. He was away. When he left, he was a face. When he came back, he was a heel. He's a heel now after WrestleMania, and he's turning face without ever being on TV. And when he comes back, he will be a face.
I mean, they're chanting.
We want Roman because there's so much indecisive going on in this story at the moment. Is what tribal chief are Solo and the God paying attention to, and evidently it's not Roman. Or did Roman cut ties with Paul Heyman and hadn't told Paul yet? Because we found out on SmackDown, Heyman hasn't talked to Roman since WrestleMania.
What do you mean you haven't talked to?
So is it Roman is giving orders to Solo and not telling Heyman? Or is Solo listening to another tribal chief and Roman is out of the loop, which means Paul's out of the loop?
I mean, like a last CEO?
I'm just so glad you didn't say the other.
I'm not allowed, contractually obligated.
But I mean, it's gonna get interesting. It really, really is, and I'm in. This is the best. I want to say this is maybe the second best storyline in WWE at the moment. Is what is becoming of the Bloodline.
What's the first one?
It's Drew and Punk.
Okay.
I love the Drew and Punk story without him actually being physically involved in a match yet. That way, when it happens, the blow off for it will be amazing.
And they both get hurt.
Shut up.
I'm just curious, but is there enough Samoans at this point to put together 2 War Games teams?
Well, no. You need one more. You need one more from Solo's side.
Jay, not Jay. The other Fatu, Jacob.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was thinking the last chairman of the board, but would fill out there.
No, because you're not going to get him at War Games. That's not going to happen. It's got to be. This has to be Roman's bloodline versus this other bloodline, which is Solo's kind of taking the lead on.
What if Jacob stood in as the fighter in that one and they're just, receiving orders, like you said, from a mysterious other party?
Basically.
We all know the return pop a certain CM Punk got at Survivor Series.
They're going to acknowledge what it's going to end up happening is Solo and God, and if Jacob's with them, they're going to acknowledge their bloodline, and you're going to figure out that it's not Roman. Roman's going to have to try to mend fences to get his bloodline back together.
So you got Roman, the Usos. Who's the fourth?
Sammy.
Oh, you think it would be Sammy?
I think it works if it's Sammy. I think it has to be that original bloodline to get back together. It's kind of like, you just said it's the Bloodline Civil War, so it is very familiar to that Marvel Civil War where
new bloodline versus old bloodline.
Yeah, and you gotta reassemble the original bloodline to take on this new generation bloodline.
You think Roman comes back? He comes back for any sort of actual weekly schedule, or you think he's gonna stay on the I'll see you every couple months.
I think when he comes back, I think you probably won't see Roman till October, maybe November.
Wow, that
Um,
long.
I think it'll be right before Survivor Series that you see him, but I also would think you're probably going to get Roman from that point on to the night after WrestleMania.
Shall we continue to match number 2?
Sure, we only got like 3 more matches to go over, so go ahead.
Bailey defeating Naomi and Tiffy time. It's Tiffy time. Tiffany Stratton in a triple threat match for the WWE Women's Championship. This was a fun match. I had actually a lot more fun with this match than I was expecting. Going into it, Bailey's not losing, but Tiffany Stratton, holy shit.
Well, I think if you take a quick note of our point picking thing, most of us got this card right.
Yes.
I say most.
Yeah, I mean, it
Like-
was a good showing for Tiffany. She got over on both of them.
A couple times.
A couple times where it was like, okay. I hope she's. I can't remember if they announced the matches for SmackDown for the Queen of the Ring pay per view thing, but I kind of hope she's in it and I hope she wins it. I think it would be fun for her to win it. Bailey's. They gotta find if Bailey's next opponent is Nia, that'll be okay. But they gotta figure out who's gonna be the lead heel woman on SmackDown right now. But the draft.
With
and
respect, I
everything, they
don't
gotta
think it's
figure out.
Nia.
Yeah, but I think facing Nia next will get Bailey to that point.
No, I know, but I don't see Nia as the big heel of SmackDown, is what I was saying.
Have they announced all the entrants to the tournament?
That's the part I don't know. I don't remember if they did or not.
I don't think they did. I know they mentioned the men.
Yeah.
I don't remember them talking about the women. But then again, I was broadcasting last night, so
That's true.
No,
I haven't read a recap.
I'm really tired of you using that as an excuse.
what, that I was broadcasting? I'm sorry, some of us weren't driving.
Well,
One of us was getting wrecked.
getting wrecked or just wrecking?
Yes?
uh,
I did not know you were slower than molasses.
it was a good match. I always expected Bailey was gonna go over. I'm still not big on Naomi. I'm sorry.
Neither am I, and she had a couple awkward moments.
I did see something really cool that I thought would be cool now that Naomi and Nia are both now on SmackDown. Going back to the Bloodline thing, it would be fun if they bring them both to the Bloodline because Nia is cousins with The Rock. So you put her
TJ
with
was
Solar's
saying
group,
that last year.
and you finally put Naomi and Jimmy together on TV, and you kind of make Naomi's character like her character on the Marine. Have you ever seen that? I think it's like the fourth one or whatever, where she's like the badass biker type chick. I think that would be fun because the glow thing for me is kind of phased out.
I stopped watching after
The ring
DiBiase.
music, the new ring music is horrible. I like the old ring music she had, and I understand. I think it's her own song that she comes out to now.
Yeah, she's singing it.
But it's horrible. Sorry. And I'm tired of trying to read what her hair says every week because she changes it so that you can read it. And I'm not about reading up to down types. It's just confusing. And then it's also doesn't work for me because the other moron on AEW that everybody's figuring out can't work with a live microphone. Sasha Banks does the exact same thing, and it's just
Her former tag team partner.
It's just dumb looking, in my opinion. Sorry, I'm not into like the fashion of fake hair with messages written in them.
You want us to continue while you look it up?
Next.
So next, Damian Priest defeats Jey Uso in a World Heavyweight Championship match that goes almost 16 minutes. And if this wasn't further showing that Jay can hang in these big moments, I don't know what is. I can very much see Jay taking a singles title and having a run with it.
I agree, but it was also a very good match for Damian Priest to get this title reign started.
Yes,
So it didn't
that
fall on a dud.
he might lose it next pay-per-view though. If next, not Jeddah, the other one, because that's Clash of Castle. Wouldn't that be?
It's possible, but I think there's more of that Judgment Day storyline to go. Plus, I think if we get to October or whatever, it's Bash in Berlin. It could be the title gets dropped there.
To Gunther.
The cool thing about right now is
so many ways they can go.
Well, yeah, if you look at the World Heavyweight title and you look at the WWE title, there's no clear picture on when's he going to drop the belt? Who's he going to drop the belt to? How long is he going to hold it? Is Cody going to hold the belt for a year? Is Damian going to hold the belt for a year? Is Damian going to drop the belt to Drew and then Drew's going to drop it to Punk and then Punk's going to face Rollins when he comes back? There's so many different things to go for. And it's kind of the same thing I said for SmackDown for Bayley is we kind of need that for the WWE Championship too. We need to figure out who is the main heel on SmackDown that gives a thought of could this be the guy that beats Cody? And the good thing is they have all the time in the world to build that guy up to make him that heel. That's like this is the guy that's going to take the belt from Cody.
And for
if Cody is still a heel at that point, or still a face at that point,
I can see Cody. Well, we'll talk about it. We'll get there when we talk about the last match. Damian Priest, I feel like is like that close from getting his crap kicked in from Finn, and that starting a feud there, whether they kick Damian out or they kick Finn out. I don't know. But it's getting heated between the...
Here's my question, because you two were able to kind of look at Raw last night. I wasn't. Was you able to watch their little in-ring interaction?
Oh, what
where they looked like they were going to murder Dominic?
Well, yeah, it was like...
No, they were fine. They were fine. They hugged it out. It was awkward.
Three of
but
them
that's what
hugged
I mean.
it
but
out.
Yeah, but Damian only paid attention to Finn and JD, and they hugged it out, and Dom came up from behind and hugged him, but like it was kind of like, what are you doing hugging me?
Yeah.
Have they caught on to the replays that everybody else is catching on to? And they're waiting for mommy to return to take care of Dom?
That Dom has a new mommy?
I got a feeling that they've talked about it for years about, Rhea facing the men and how that was going to work. I have a strong feeling that Mike could be headed towards Rhea versus Dom. And
that would be fun.
It would be funny as hell and entertaining, and it would just be nice to see mommy back on TV. But the Judgment Day implosion thing, I think it's definitely building. I think JD is gonna do whatever Bray wants to do, because JD was trained by Finn. So you're gonna see that anyway. Lord Farquaad's gonna go with Finn no matter what he does.
Do you think the Judgment Day has basically ran its course?
No, but I think it's time for...
The injury to Rhea has definitely shook it.
Yeah. I think the plan was for these to be more dominant, having both world champions at the same time. So I don't know if the plan is to try to get it back together when Rhea comes back and put the belt back on her, and then we're going to get this dominant Judgment Day thing. But I could also see where Damian goes on his own. I think it's time for Damian to fly the coop, so to speak. It's time for Damian to be on his own.
Don't shoot me on this, please. Damien is where
I got
he
my
is.
Archer ready.
Obviously, he's good. We like him. He can talk. He can do all that stuff. But you don't think, because a little part of me is, can he hold it on his own? That's my thing. Can he fly the coop with the title, without the title, and still be good?
Yes, I think so. I think Damien has every quality that he needs to be, that he can be on his own and a big guy being the world champion. I think Damien and Drew is going to be exciting to watch when it happens. I think even Punk and Damien, if that's what it comes to, is going to be entertaining to watch. Damien,
Anybody on that team gets dropped to obscurity once Judgment Day's over? Probably JD.
mm, it depends on what they do with Dom and JD. Do they break up, but them two stick together, or that part will be interesting.
Because I would assume Finn would land on his feet.
He normally does off the top rope, both feet onto the person.
And then on his ass afterwards.
Yeah, then he falls on his ass. I don't know. It'll be fun to watch though. That's what's making this fun. Is there's no you can't see it clear as day right now on what the plans moving forward are, and that's what I like about this Hall Levesque era.
All right, match number 4: Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill defeating the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi Sane for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. Goes just about 17 and a half minutes, and we have new tag team champions, and we all knew it was coming.
Thank you, God.
Well, most of us knew.
Did you really pick?
No, somebody else did.
No, I got a perfect.
Oh, okay.
No, literally, like 3/4 of our, for everybody that pays attention, we do the wrestling pick'em. New season just started with Backlash. 3/4 of the pickers got this match card perfect. I want to say like half of the other 8 didn't pick. And then the other half of that, and the half of that other 8 got a couple wrong. Let's just say, Ron, we love you for the first time. You're not last or second to last.
Don't worry, he'll miss a few.
And then somehow Royal Rumble will get both winners.
I'm glad that the Kabuki title reign is over with because they're horrible tag team champions.
I found them annoying.
Tell me how many times they defended those tag titles since they won them. I think I can count it on one hand. I'm not a fan of Asuka or Kairi Sane. Kairi Sane more than anybody.
Like they can talk.
After WrestleMania, Kairi Sane needs punched in the mouth. If you didn't pay attention to that from what Mark Henry said, I agree with him on that. I saw the same thing after I rewatched it and thought the same thing. You're the respect that you're supposed to have for your fellow competitors, where you give them the floor at WrestleMania and you're standing in the ring dancing like an idiot to your opponent's ring music, is not an intimidation factor. It's just dumb. So to see them go away, great. Asuka's evidently not been. She wasn't on Raw last night. She was supposed to be in a King of the Ring match or Queen of the Ring match.
Apparently she's hurt.
Well, yeah, apparently she's injured.
Apparently, going back to King of the Ring, they have not announced the first round matches for SmackDowns on the men or women's side. So we have the Raw women, but we do not have the SmackDown.
I had the match card. I was letting us finish back. The show's going to tell you guys.
Yeah. So I'm glad that Bianca and Jade are the women's tag champions. If you didn't pay attention to the show, Jade did take a bump or two. I mean, I know I've been hearing flack about her not taking bumps.
She took a good couple of them
doing this thing. I love when they do a spot that is amazing, and instantly somebody on Twitter says, "Well, she did the same thing to Sky Blue in AEW."
Isn't
So?
that her? It's her move set?
No. The whole move there at her when she hit Jaded on Kyrie, where she was the power bomb to flipping it around, all of that.
Oh yeah.
She did the same spot this Sky Blue on AEW.
So
My answer to that is she did it a second time and got more eyes on it than when she did it the first time. So big deal. I
And it was
like Jade
fucking
Cargill.
cool.
I like Jade Cargill. I liked her in AEW. She's green as green can be. And she's a name that got popular in AEW that when she got to the WWE, basically WWE has to show her how to do things the right way right now. And that's what she's still learning. But getting her on TV does two things. One, it gets her more ring time. Two, it puts a big name on TV that people were patiently waiting on. So if you're gonna keep teaching her, the best thing to put her in is a tag team. So put her with Bianca. Let them be the tag champs. Don't let them be indestructible where they run through everybody. Though eventually make a team that's going to be able to beat them. I think the smart thing to do here is you build them and build them and build them and build them, and then you split them. Whether it's Jade turns on Bianca or Bianca turns on Jade, and then you get Jade and Bianca in a feud, that makes sense. Let it be that the turn costs them the tag titles. That makes even more sense.
I'd love to see
down
heel
the road.
Bianca.
If you want to heel Bianca, check out when she was in NXT because that's pretty much when she was a heel. I'm
just saying, because face Bianca was boring.
But I can see this being that's why they did what they're doing. They put them two together so she can get more ring time, but still be protected by Bianca. Let her get
Bianca's
better
the one
at
that got her ass kicked for the most part.
Yeah, let her get better at it, and then just start creating drama between the two, and eventually one turns on the other right in the middle of a title match. Not so much Ronda and Shayna because that was horribly booked, where they just magically turned on each other without any drama whatsoever between them.
Yeah.
But start creating drama between the two of them, and then have the turn happen in the middle of a championship match at like one of your big 4 pay-per-views, whether it be Rumble to lead into WrestleMania. That makes sense to me. I'd be more than happy to see that happen. I'd like to see the next women tag champs be Zoe and Shayna, but that's just because they're my new. I really like them as a tag team.
Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell.
I'm becoming a bigger and bigger fan of Zoe Stark every time I see her on TV. I really, really like her.
Yeah, you're not the only one.
Shall we go to our next match?
Well, I was going to mention, did anybody else catch the awkward moment in this match?
Which one?
Did we catch the what?
Where the ref tried telling Kari Sane she wasn't the legal competitor, and then she tags in Asuka, who was the legal competitor and would have technically just made herself not the legal competitor.
No. If that tag happens from the reverse, it doesn't happen because the right people aren't where they're supposed to be. So Asuka just gets in the ring.
But you get my point, though. Like, they tagged, and they're like, and you see the ref go, tag! And it's like, already not legal. They didn't need to tag. I'm so confused.
Yeah, I see people on the internet that are bitching about that just for the fact of, oh, they need to reverse the titles back. The tags.
Well, I don't know about that, but it was kind of funny because, like, she's trying to lock in like a submission or something, and the ref's like, "You're not legal," and she's like, "Huh?" She goes to do it again. He's like, "No, you're not legal."
No speaking, no English.
And then, like I said, immediately after they go for the tag, and it's like, she wasn't legal, man. She didn't need a tag.
So let's get into the final match, the main event, going 27 minutes. It's Cody Rhodes defeating the phenomenal AJ Styles for the
Phenomena. You said it.
Yeah. That's why I said it. For the WWE not undisputed championship because they got rid of Universal. This was a banger.
I enjoyed this match.
I've
hope
watched this match twice.
I
Dubbed
hope
it
we
the Peach
get
Bowl, man.
I hope we get a three-peat of this, and I think the next two matches will step up from this. I think we're gonna go into an era with Cody where you're not gonna get WWE Championship matches in 15 minutes.
I'm okay with our
I think
matches.
you're gonna
Anybody
get
out?
so. I think you're gonna get 30-minute, 45-minute, 1 hour matches out of Cody and whoever he's
Because
facing.
what was it
Does
back in the
anybody
day?
else want an Iron Man match?
No,
I do.
No,
we're not talking about
I
an
don't.
Iron Man match.
I don't want
do
to.
though.
I did the Iron Man matches to me lose all spontaneity. That I can't speak. Spontaneity out of the match because you know before the countdown's over with who wins for the most part.
Well, I mean, like, I don't want like a three falls. I want like these fucking guys pin each other like 8-9 times. Like it'd be fucking crazy.
Yeah, but now what do you're I don't how do I put this?
I don't like that.
If
I'm
you-
just gonna say I don't like that.
if you have an Iron Man match, the best example of Iron Man match is definitely Shawn and Brett, where they go an hour and they have to go an extra time and it's one pinfall. You saturate it with 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pinfalls. It's like, what are you doing really? Now, granted, I'll give you this. If you go back to 2005, 2006 SmackDown, Brock Lesnar faced Kurt Angle for the WWE Championship on SmackDown in a 1 hour Iron Man match. That is probably the one match where I'll give you where you can make an exception to that rule because Brock used the falls to his favor and used the steel chair on Kurt for Kurt to win a pin or win a fall, but he basically wiped Kurt wiped Kurt out completely with the steel chair. That he was able to sacrifice one fall to get 3 falls. But I just don't like an Iron Man match. Give me Cody, AJ 1 hour time limit and let them go the Broadway.
Isn't that how they did it back in the day? That like the main event and the top guys would do the hour match.
The NWA title was normally defended with a 1 hour time limit, and usually they went to 60 minutes. That was the way for you.
Speaking of NWA,
that was a way for you to keep the guy he's facing over, but keeping the belt on the champion at the right time. Because then when it was time to switch it, you would do the exact same thing, only like around the 40th minute, 47th minute, somewhere around there, where the challenger sneaks in a cradle or something. He grabs the fall and it catches everybody off guard because everybody just thinks, well, these guys are going to go to a Broadway. And that's how they used to get the pops, was the unexpected cradle. If you think of Ric Flair winning the NWA title, I don't think he ever won the title with the figure 4. He always won the NWA title with like a cradle or a roll up of some sort that confused him. Hell, he lost the NWA title to Kerry Von Erich with a backslide. It was always to catch you off guard. That way, you put your pop was natural, not I expected that.
so speaking of NWA, a throwback with AJ Styles' ring gear, from when he faced Dusty Rhodes in 2003. I think it was.
Yeah, AJ Styles is the only active wrestler in the WWE that has fought, I think, all 3 of the Rhodes family. He fought Dusty in NWA very early on when it was still NWA TNA. I think it was within the first like 10 episodes of TNA. And then he fought Dustin as Black Rain when it was like a darker Gold Dust character.
Mhm.
And now he's faced Cody. So he's fought all 3 Rhodes. And I could watch Cody and AJ go at it again. I want to see I want to see these guys do a classic 3-match series with the final. I would like to see. I mean, you can't get them to swap the title, but you could easily do something where AJ gets the upper hand in the second match, and that creates a third match, whether it be in a steel cage or the hour-long time limit, or 2 out of 3 pinfalls. 2 out of 3 falls would be really fun to watch AJ and Cody have, because I feel like both of them would put in the work to make it a solid 45-minute to 50-minute match.
How long till Hell in a Cell?
It's not a pay-per-view anymore.
Really?
So
Triple H nixed all the pay-per-views that were match named pay-per-views,
except
except for Money in the Bank. Except for Money in the Bank too.
Oh, he got. Oh, okay. I was gonna say, did he get rid of Elimination Chamber after Australia? Because I wouldn't mind it going back to not Survivor Series, like a SummerSlam or, you know.
Elimination Chamber is that pay-per-view in February was always No Way Out.
Yes. I this match was wild, and I don't. Would you put the crowd on the level of pop or how loud they were to, and I'm gonna get a no on this, Hogan Rock? Because I don't remember the camera fucking shaking there.
No, just because of the difference in capacity.
Okay. Like, I the match was great, phenomenal. Like, I F Dave Meltzer. I give it a 5 out of 5, or even a 6 out of 5.
I'm curious, what did he give it? Does anybody know?
I don't know. Give me a sec. I'll look it up. But I don't really want to screw up my my internet history.
It was in France, which is closer to Japan, so it gained a half a star.
Keep it up.
The only reason I did, I mean, I would like to see some sort of stipulation for the third match, and the main reason I brought up.
Why's it gotta be 3 matches? Let them go 5.
Well, I brought up Hell in a Cell for a reason,
because then you get, when you go more than 3, you get John Cena, Randy Orton vibes, and I think that is WWE learned a lesson.
Yeah, but
look
at Redacted and oh fuck, Booker T.
Yeah, but that was for the United States title. I mean, that's not the first time we've had a best of 5 series. Actually, even with Booker T. Booker T had a best. Actually, no, correction. It's not the first time we've had a best of series with Benoit and Booker, because they did it in WCW too. For the television title, they had a best of 7 series for the TV title in like 1998.
You have to pay for his crap to figure out what his star ratings were.
That's why I don't pay attention to his bullshit.
I just want to see Cody healthy in a Hell in a Cell match.
Oh,
and I think AJ. Well, I think AJ would be. AJ talent wise is very similar to Seth Rollins. I mean, they're both very, very good. So that's kind of like we could get the match we were supposed to get the first time that we didn't get, per se, because of the pec.
I don't think we need a gimmick. There doesn't need to be a gimmick on AJ Styles, Cody Rhodes.
Them two alone is the gimmick.
Yes. If you give me them guys right back at it too, I mean, gimmick as in like a ladder or a cage or any of that kind of stuff. Those type gimmicks. But if you're gonna give me an actual wrestling match and you're gonna give me Cody versus AJ 2 out of 3 pinfalls, I'll take it. Because I'm almost guaranteeing that AJ's gonna get a pinfall victory over Cody.
I just had an idea. Turn this into, figure out how to get AJ Styles LA Knight kind of a heat for this rivalry, for lack of a better term, and do a 3 stages of hell.
No, because you got to end that one with a steel cage. I don't want a gimmick with these guys. I want a see. I want these two to prove to the other. Granted, WWE is the bigger one and doesn't talk about the smaller one, but I want these two to prove to the world what a real. Not you can't say the greatest wrestling match in history because that's subjective, but show the world what a real spectacular wrestling match, pro wrestling match is supposed to be.
Okay.
Not your gymnastics, flip flop and fly. Although I love the flip flop and fly from the Fat Man himself, Dusty, but the the no sell the no sell clotheslines and all of that stupid shit that we got from Osprey and Daniel Bryan. And I will keep calling him Daniel Bryan because I don't care. And I know it pisses some people off, but go with it. I want these two to show the world what a great wrestling match is without all of the gymnastics. That's what I want.
How close do you think they got on Saturday? Because I thought that was
it can be better. I mean,
I know.
27. They went 27 minutes. I want them to go 40 minutes. Have the entire crowd in the palm of their hand while they're laying on the mat gasping for air type deal.
Just lay here, kid.
I want
you when they get
I want exactly. I want the crowd to build them up when they're on the mat to just to struggle to get to their feet and then slug it out and then have the finish. That's what I want. I don't want tables. I don't want outside interference. I don't want anything outside used. Let these two wrestle for 45 minutes to an hour and show the world what a good wrestling match is. Because if there's not two people in this world that I could think that could do that, it's Cody Rhodes, and it's automatically. If you tell me to make the matchup, automatically AJ Styles is in that matchup. You can put whoever you want against him. You make it Cody, then it's got more historical value to it, in my opinion.
So overall, I'll start with TJ here because I want to. Rate the pay-per-view in whatever way you want. Not a trick question.
I'll give it 4.5 Eiffel Towers.
Fuck, I was gonna use Eiffel Towers. Ryan?
We're doing one out of, what was it? 1 out of 5?
Oh, however you want. Just don't use stars. That's copyrighted.
I thought it was a solid card for the pay-per-view after WrestleMania. So I'll give it a solid 4.
Was it just Backlash this year, or is it still WrestleMania Backlash?
No, it's just Backlash.
Backlash France is what it's labeled at. I'm gonna give it an A-.
I like the card. I like this small card, to be honest with you.
Still a 2.5-hour show.
That's what I mean. Give me a small card. Give me more time in matches. I don't need more short matches. I want fewer longer matches.
Well, 5 matches. 19.5, 13, 16, 17.5, and 27.5.
Exactly. Give me 5 or 6 matches on a card, and I'm a happy camper.
And they were all big, impactful matches.
And no pre-show matches.
I'm okay with that.
And I'm fine with if you're gonna keep it at 5 and 6 matches for these cards, and you rotate out what set of championships do the card. So like this one, we had the women's tag match. And what else?
We didn't even get any of the mid-card men titles.
Well, we got the. I would imagine they're probably, if they're gonna have championship matches, it's at the King and Queen of the Ring thing. Most likely going to be the men's matches. I like the idea of, okay, the women's tag title match was this month, so we can build and build and build, and we don't have to have them back until June. Or
Money in the Bank.
Money in the Bank. Same thing with with Bayley in the WWE Women's Championship. We don't have to have her back until Money in the Bank. Then you have like next month you have the World Championships, the Women's World Championship, the U.S. title, the Intercontinental title, the tag titles. You can kind of spread them out between the next two shows. Then you can have everybody at Money in the Bank.
So
Have your Money in the Bank stuff.
I'm gonna
I kind of
be
like that idea.
I'm gonna be somebody that you guys are probably gonna crap on for what I'm about to say. Since we're done with Backlash, we're gonna move towards the conclusion of the draft and everything. Nothing happened outside of bringing people from NXT up and moving Braun Breaker over to Raw. That's it. I very much wish we had brand specific PLEs again. They feel like you get better storylines when you let them grow like that.
I agree, but you're also gonna lose. You're gonna, I guess, in a way, hurt people's feelings too, because I can almost guarantee you that the number of buys or views for a pay per view that Cody's on is gonna be way higher than PLE that the main event is Damien for the world title at this time,
So build
and
somebody up
Cody's
on
not
Raw.
on. But I don't think WWE. It doesn't make much business sense for WWE and TKO to keep doing this all year long, even with trying to build somebody up. You're still just doing this. You're gonna have that peak of Cody down for Damien and stuff, kind of in a way. I like not hurting Damien one bit, but it's Cody. It's kind of it's a different ball game on one show to the other. So you're gonna have that elevated people watching when Cody is. The number is gonna come down a little bit when Cody's not on the card. Then when you get to the ones where they're together with the big fours, the numbers are gonna go back up, and then they're gonna stay there, and then they're gonna go back down again. And that's gonna destroy a locker room. That's equivalent to AEW doing pay per views in their AEW World Champion goes on like mid show or whatever because their EVPs have to have the main event.
I don't know. I miss the days of, oh, it's Backlash. That's a Raw pay per view.
You can what kind of along with what I was saying, you can do that without actually doing that by rotating the championships that get defended for the pay per views.
Yeah, I guess.
That way you still keep a mix of because you got those people that are still I'm a Monday night guy. I don't watch Friday nights. I'm a Friday night guy. I don't watch Monday nights. You still have those people.
Yeah, but
So
the thing
why
is,
have
you're gonna have to have Cody defend every pay per view, but not necessarily have Damien defend every pay per view.
I don't think that's something that Cody would argue about.
I don't think
And
so either.
And I think you're gonna get Damien every pay per view because he's the world champion, and I don't think Damien would complain about it either. Cody's gonna take this WWE title and take it back to. Totally feel like he's taking it back to the 80s. He's gonna be a working WWE champion, so he's gonna put in the time on pay per views. I can see that.
All right, so
And also, not to mention, you talked about the draft. Yes, you did move the NXT guys around. Braun finally did go to Raw where he's supposed to be, but there was another Braun that showed back up on Raw too. There's a 6'8" monster that's now back. Is he back in the ring 100%? Probably not just quite yet. But Braun Strowman makes a difference.
we need
Braun
a triple
Strowman,
threat match with Braun, and Bronson.
Can you imagine the look on people's faces when Braun Strowman picks up Bronson Reed and body
chucks him.
slams him? It'll literally look like he's picking up 4 giant bags of feed and slamming it all at one time.
Very much. I'm not.
I know the
I'm
arena
not
will be
drinking.
chanting meat, meat, meat.
As small and as compact as Bronson Reed is, Braun Strowman body slamming him might just put a hole through the ring.
That would be cool.
Yeah,
The
that would
plywood.
be big hole Bronson Reed.
So NXT call ups to Raw. As I'm trying to pull it up here.
Stupid Ilion Dragunov and Kiana James.
And the Bird Girl.
Valkyrie.
And that stupid guy with the knockoff Detroit logo on his pants.
Oh, Dijak. Yeah, I was kind
I
of
only say
surprised
that.
by that.
I only say that because you like him.
When he was at NEW, Northeast Wrestling, doing all those bingo halls and gymnasiums, I've never seen. Okay, just checking. I've never seen that big of a person go over the top rope and then her and Karana somebody. It was wild. Granted, should he be doing that as a big man? No. Did it pop the whole crowd? Yes. But to SmackDown, Ryan, since you got it in front of you, apparently.
SmackDown was Carmelo Hayes. Trying to think off the top of my head.
Oh, I thought you had it in front of you because that was boom, 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 boom.
No, I just remember.
Where did Omos go?
Who?
He's a free agent.
Like, were we not just setting him up as like some big threat and then?
No, he's a free agent. Same thing with MVP.
Omos? Oh, yeah. You just had him show up. He's just gonna show up at the Andre the Giant Battle Royal every
And almost win.
year. I forget who else from Smack or from NXT went to SmackDown.
I'm looking.
Oh,
Blair Davenport.
Blair Davenport is the other one. Good move. I like Blair.
Oh shit, Giovanni Vinci.
Yeah,
went to
because they
SmackDown.
split them, so he'll have a whole new character probably.
For what TJ's gonna say, he'll be released in 2 weeks.
Oh, Baldy! I wasn't sure who you were talking about.
Yeah, if you guys remember our last episode, I was like, "Oh, he could have a feud with Mr. Stratton and
Mr. Stratton.
I'm just not a big fan of Dragunov. Have we talked about that yet?
You know he
many
won
times.
his match, right?
Many times to the point where you saw his entrance. You saw the beginning part of his entrance when we were at Wells Fargo Center for the night after Raw. You're like, food, pee, go.
Yep. I just don't care for the character. He's the last dragon. Okay, great. He's the last dragon. There's not a damn thing about his appearance and his presentation that makes me think of a dragon.
No, don't.
And
what does that even mean?
I don't know. I don't run out of dragons. I just drop another couple mana and I could just play another one.
It's just I don't get it. It's just I don't know. I like Kiana James. We talked about it at NXT at Stand and Deliver. I told you guys that the two girls in the ring that are ready for prime time or the main roster are Kiana James and Fallon Hensley. I'm not wrong. I don't think I'm wrong in that. I know people went to dive back and find tweets that a 12-year-old Kiana James made to try to tarnish whatever. Fuck off. If you got to go rooting for somebody's history to find shit on them, kiss my ass. You deserve,
especially if they're fucking like 12. Like what?
You deserve to get your head stuck in a toilet.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I'm curious on what she said.
Oh, it's something about her mom. Evidently, Kiana James is interracial. She's a mixed race, and she made a comment about her mother because I guess I take it her mother is African American. It's nothing. It's whatever. I don't care. I like
just being stupid.
I like Kiana James. I like her a lot. I think she can definitely be a big star on the Raw roster when she finally shows up on Raw. I think you could stick her right in the feud with the top spots. I think they're going to slowly build her there, though. As we saw on NXT, Fallon Hensley is now a heel. She turned on somebody I can't remember now off the top of my head, but I really like her. Give her to the next draft, and she's going to be on the main roster.
Isn't that on right now?
Yes. Don't worry, it's over in 7 minutes.
What draft?
No, NXT.
Oh.
It's just Blair Davenport, I like. She's a solid worker. She's gonna be fun on SmackDown to watch her come up through too.
Isn't she a heel too? No.
She is a heel. She could be that heel to take on Bailey. That could be fun. Her last match in NXT was a banger. If you didn't watch the first night of Spring Breaking, her and I forget how to say her name. Is it Sola Raka? The girl that does the springboard
Yes,
like
yes, and the
backflip
flip
RKO.
And, yeah, I know who you're talking about.
They had like this beach brawl match, and it was fun to watch and entertaining as all get out. I enjoy her too. I'm glad she's back from injury. Unfortunately, the two that I can't wait for NXT to come back are on injury reserve is Nikita and Cora Jade. Once they come back, that's going to be really nice. Last I saw, she's doing those little promo things with Santino's daughter about, remember she was getting a dress and everything and she hacked it all up and made it her own and all that kind of stuff. So I think they're giving Gigi a makeover of some sort.
I miss Gigi.
I miss Nikita.
I miss Gigi.
I like what NXT's doing. I am a big fan of Obi Femi.
That dude's cool.
I love his.
Have him and did him and what's his face fight? The Viking Raider.
That was last week. Yeah, he beat him.
How was it good though? I would go back and watch that.
Yeah, I like Obi Femi. He is really really good, and he has the audiences like when his music hits, the audience is like, "Ooh, I want to watch this." Like their triple threat match.
They all get into it too. He's another entrance everybody gets into.
Oh. Yeah, and you realize all of that, the grunting and everything is from because of Black Panther.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's very, very cool. I like his character. I like his size is what I like. I like that he's a big guy, but he can move and he is fun to watch. I'm hoping with this new generation NXT, Lexis King takes off. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to NXT overall. I've been really into it the last probably 6-7 months now, and I'm looking forward to getting deeper into it with some new talent and stuff showing up. I like Josh Briggs. He's another big guy.
I still can't say that match we had at Takeover with him, Obafemi, and Dijak. That match, holy shit.
When I watch Josh Briggs, and I know they've kind of teased with them, pairing him up with him, but Josh Briggs gives me a lot of JBL feels. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to this women's NXT North American Championship, and I like that they're moving some of these girls that are on the main roster that aren't highlighted. They're kind of moving them down so they can run through NXT. Chelsea Green, they just did it with her. They're doing it with Natty. I feel like they're going to do it with a couple other ones. I think even Meechin made comment about wanting to be the NXT North American champion. So I think they're going to incorporate them into those 6 single matches or the 12 single matches or whatever they're doing to create that ladder match. But it's also going to be fun to see how that title takes off because I think that's the temperature gauge for WWE. Because if that NXT North American Women's Championship takes off, by the end of the year, you're going to get women's mid-card titles on the main roster.
I'd be very much okay with that, but you don't think, and this is IWC, we know how toxic they are, you don't think people are going to say WWE is flooding the waters with championships?
No, I think WWE is doing it the right way. I think AEW is the ones that did it ass backwards. They bought a company, brought their belts in, made it really confusing for everybody. WWE is making it. WWE is making it where WWE is making it where each show has their titles and they're distinguishing the men and the women. They're equal. You got a main title, you got a mid-card title. You have it for both the men and the women on both shows. I enjoy it.
So, I know we don't have much left, but I want to throw this out here. I know he's never going to see this unless somebody clips this and tweets it to him or whatever. Happy 40th birthday. To Kevin Owens. That is today.
Yeah, it's kind of funny too because we just our other thing you were live with last night. That was his favorite wrestler.
Yeah.
Well, no. Well, yes, but also the other one that he liked beforehand is Damian Priest when he was in
Yeah.
Ring of Honor as
Punishment
Punisher. Yeah.
Well, now
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry.
I had to get that out of the way.
yeah, speaking of Rocky, the last thing he heard was,
oh, Jesus Christ.
we do it out of love. I promise.
Oh, I'm shocked. Yeah, but the next thing he would have said was,
Hey, where are the white women at?
Well, okay. It's funny you hit that one because I was going to ask you this and I was waiting.
Ow!
Right. Do you think maybe we get a queen returning for the Queen of the Ring?
Like she's the final boss.
I'm gonna punch you in the throat. Gonna punch you in the throat. I don't think she's
Not me.
ready yet.
No?
I don't think she's ready yet. I think she's close. You gotta remember, she got injured in January. So
No, I keep seeing videos, man. It's like, come on.
she's definitely working at it. I think she's gonna be closer to. I wouldn't be shocked if she's not in Money in the Bank. To be honest with you. But I also don't think she needs to win Money in the Bank. She's already done that once.
I'm also sad that Rocky.
She's gotten cashed on.
I'm also sad that Rocky didn't get to live in a world where Uncle Phil was actually a storyline on AEW or wherever it is, wherever the hell he is,
TNA,
wherever Uncle Phil is.
Yeah, but that's the best part because that whole storyline goes along with oh, what does it go along with? I know what it goes along with. Hold on one second. It goes along with this thing.
Say his name and he appears.
Did it play?
Yeah.
Dude,
Okay.
first part.
Do I need to play the other part? I'll play the other part just to make sure we're on the same. I'm gonna have fun with this.
I believe in Joe Hendry.
I love it. But yeah, that whole storyline works together.
I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes.
I miss him as well. I know we're taking a moment here. I miss him as well because I feel like if he was around, he would probably be a fourth square in this conversation.
He was in the first wrestling show Nerds ever did.
He was. I remember that because wasn't it me and him were the first two on it?
Yeah, and that episode needed to be recut because of some of the crap that was said because it got immediately taken down.
You mean to tell me he would have made up the fourth ring post of this psychoticness?
Yeah, probably.
Well, yeah, for sure. He would have definitely been. Maybe not every week, but he definitely would have been here.
Him there with his
Pay-per-view
Vader
weeks.
mask.
The pay-per-view weeks. We might not have gotten video of him, but he would have been the fourth person here for sure. Because every
voice,
week
don't pay attention to the man behind the dark screen.
Because I can see it now. Because every week he'd be like, "All right, we gotta go record." He'd be like, "Where you guys gonna go record?" He'd be like, "Our wrestling podcast." Oh, can I go do it? All right, come on.
Watch your mouth.
No wheelchair jokes.
If you drop your microphone, you can't yell to your mother.
Yeah.
Bob!
So,
Bob!
so yeah, he's still with us, I think, on a lot of stuff we talk about and deal with.
Oh, absolutely. I honestly don't think this wrestling show happens without that first episode almost 3.5 years ago.
Yeah.
And he was
So,
on it.
I mean, we're officially a month out from WrestleMania. Um, and I got some ideas for some shows that coming up, but
That's
I want to hear
concerning.
from the audience. I want to hear the people, the viewers, comment on this one. Give us some thoughts on what you want to see us tackle. Some of the stuff that I'm looking at possibly doing is we're gonna we're gonna deep dive, which is more for my fun ability. They would actually have to do some research. I think we need to like deep dive into some wrestlers on movies and wrestlers on some TV shows.
That's a lot of watch alongs.
Have you checked the lobby?
I kind of want to dive deep into the most popular wrestling video game of all time, 2K24, and maybe talk about some of the other wrestling games that we've all played in the past. I think that'd be a fun deep dive because I played since WWF WrestleMania on the regular Nintendo.
My first one was Day of Reckoning on the GameCube.
Well, you guys told me it one night. It was like a Royal Rumble game.
Yeah, WWF Royal Rumble.
The game was
For
fucking
the
great.
WrestleMania arcade. I kind of want to. I think we learned in that first 6-month period what we do and what we don't want to do. I think we kind of want to take a right hand turn from the watch along so much.
Maybe do once a month. We'll do a watch along.
Yeah, I want to dig into like I want to express to people what wrestlers do outside of the wrestling ring in the sense of like which ones were on TV shows, how good that TV show was, how good the movies are when they left to go do movies. That kind of stuff I think would be pretty interesting for us. We're gonna keep doing this live. The up to date current stuff is getting more and more fun for us. I think for all three of us together because we're actually paying attention way more to what's going on live TV.
Yeah, for the most part, unless you're sleeping, snoring, and
Yeah. So I'm still trying to watch AEW. I did enjoy this story that they started. I just want to see where it goes with the EVPs and Jack Perry and Okada versus what appears to now be Omega and FTR and who's going to join them. I feel like that's going to go towards their what they call, I think they call it blood and guts or whatever, their war games match. I think that's where that's going to lead to. Not that I've never been a huge Kenny Omega fan, but I'm invested in seeing where that story goes and if they can continue that story and not screw it up.
You got the crap kicked out of him.
Yeah, and I like
Tony Khan?
I like Swerve Strickland. What? I kind of want to see where they're gonna go with him with the AEW title. I don't like that his first person he's facing on a pay-per-view is Christian. That doesn't make sense to me for whatever reason. It seems like you have this thing going on with Perimeter and Malachi Black for the TBS title or the TNT title. That could get interesting up until the time is for Malachi to leave AEW and come back to WWE like we all know he's going to.
I'd love to have Rusev back.
Here's a question for that, because now you got to think about it. Really think about it. Do you want Miro or Rusev back, or do you want Lana back?
Rusev.
Because the chances of them two being on the same, working for the same company again, are slim and none.
What does Lana do if she comes back? A valet again?
Be the 30th entry, 29th entry into the Royal Rumble and never make it?
27th. I won $200 on that. Thank you very much.
She sat there for 3 people dead?
She was the 27th entry to that Royal Rumble, and I won $200 at Jimmy's Famous Seafood, cheap plug. They were having a WrestleMania watch party, and I drew for the Women's Rumble number 27.
Becky
And when she
Lynch.
come out, I was like, "You've got to be fucking kidding me!" And then Becky comes out, and I'm like, "Haha, yay! I'm gonna win the Royal Rumble." So I don't know. I mean,
Everybody
Miro's
just looked at you. You're like, you mother.
Miro hasn't done anything in AEW, and I don't know if that's because of himself or Tony Khan or anything, but like the value of Miro has dropped.
Before he left WWE, he was on
He was
fire.
white hot. It was supposed to be Miro
Rusev Day.
and
Rusev
somebody.
Day.
I mean, if he
Rusev
came
Day.
back, AJ, the thing is he could ride that train in, but can he sustain it?
I think so. He was hot and building for a while.
I don't think I want him to come back as if he comes back. I don't want him to come back. I don't want anybody that left WWE to come back to WWE and be.
So have him come back as Miro then.
I want him to come back. If he comes back, make him Miro.
Miro Day. Miro Day.
He's definitely not on my list of like top 5 people I want to return. But hey, who knows? I mean,
I just remember how hot he was.
Number 1 for me is the guy that's on the shelf now for at least another 6-8 months. Cordona. It's kind of funny that him
who
and
else
Cody
tore his
had
pec?
this.
Yeah,
it's kind of funny that him and Cody have the exact same injury on the exact same side of their body,
and they're like best friends.
and they're like best friends. Yeah, it's kind of funny.
Hey, we don't talk about best friends here.
But we were talking. I saw where they were talking. Brian Myers was asking Matt Cardona. He's like, "So how's everything going without being able to use your right hand?" And he said everything's going good except for trying to take a shit and wipe my ass because I can't do it with my left hand. So they got him a giant ass thing of dude wipes. But I digress, guys.
I would have laughed a lot better if his answer was, "I just have Chelsea taking care of most of it. She does it anyway."
I had a question for you guys because it seems like it's kind of cooled for me. They kind of backseating the Uncle Howdy stuff again. Maybe I've just missed it.
Every
Raw
SmackDown they still have done it. They just didn't do it for Backlash.
No, I thought there was a glitch at Backlash.
Was there? I didn't catch it then.
It was an entrance for somebody. I can't remember which one, but there was a code for Uncle
I'll have to look it up because
they're gonna
missing it.
They are gonna make everybody wait. You are not getting him as early as everybody thought you were gonna get.
And I think that's the whole reason why TJ is saying that, because he was expecting Uncle Howdy by now.
It's not so much him; it's who's allegedly tied to him that I want back.
You're not gonna get. I don't think you're gonna get all of that at one time either. I don't think you're gonna get him anytime soon, because they want to create that thought in your head that it's not gonna happen, and then boom, he's gonna be there.
I want my 5-foot blonde back. God damn it!
I know the buzz for Extreme Rules when Bray made his return was like, yeah, tonight's the night. They're going to do everything they possibly can to catch everybody completely off guard for when he shows up. And who do you work? Who do you put him with? Who do you work? Who do you set Uncle Howdy up for in his first story?
Matt
Hardy. LA Knight?
Well, I don't know.
Matt Hardy.
The thing I've heard with Matt Hardy is that he would be with, not against.
Could always start against.
I just
so
say there's.
You figure you have Braun on Raw, so you figure Howdy's going to show up on Raw. Could be wrong though, but you figure it's going to be, or you have Howdy go against Braun first, and Braun then he beats Braun and Braun joins him. That makes sense if that's the way you want to work it.
Yeah, because he was the rumor I saw. Braun was a part of the Wyatt 6.
Well, I mean, they're basically that whole thing is basically let's take the most demonic satanic wrestlers that we have on our roster, and we're gonna pair them up with Uncle Howdy because you got Dexter Lumis, who hasn't been seen in 2 years, Joe Gacy, who was basically Bray Wyatt knockoff, Nikki Cross, who's been crazy for about 4.5 years now.
I like crazy.
And then Alexa, because then you put Alexa and Nikki back together, and then
their
Brett.
sisters Abigail.
I don't think you need to make them sisters Abigail because there's no.
That's just the thing I saw, but
there's no such thing as Sister Abigail. It was an imaginative voice that was in Bray Wyatt's head.
That's just
why we never. That's why we never saw the actual physical being of Sister Abigail. So, but we've been on for too long. I'm ready to get out of here. If you are.
Yeah, I'm ready to go finish that Indianapolis race, even though I don't know the ending because, hi, Gary.
God
what year?
Damn it, Gary.
What year?
2012.
2012.
Is that the tire one?
No.
No.
Oh.
All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you for chilling with us. Appreciate you guys for being here. Let us know what you want to see from the Wrestling with Nerds, whether it's a strength of Ryan's or a weakness of mine or TJ's.
Oh, time out. Gotta touch base on this. So over the weekend, we were having fun with me and TJ we were watching the what do you call that again with the galloping things? What did you call it?
Amish NASCAR.
Amish NASCAR.
So we were watching the pre-stuff for that. We watched after the pay-per-view because we were waiting for the WrestleMania announcement, which by the way we never even touched on. WrestleMania next year is in Las Vegas.
We did at the beginning
of the show.
Yeah, well, maybe.
And the Backlash post presser was fun too. That was good.
Yeah, it was a little long because they had to say every question twice, but that's besides the point. So we were playing, and one of the content streamers that I follow popped up, and he's
You're an asshole.
Wrestling trivia contest coming up.
Oh God.
Like, oh, okay. Let's see how good I am. It costs $3 to play. I think I played like 5-6 times. I ended up walking out with $90. So
the guru done did guru'd.
I'm good with my trivia stuff, so that was fun. I ended up actually taking $25 from both of the streamers because I didn't realize I was facing them instead of them facing themselves, which was kind of funny after I figured it out. I didn't mean to do it, but shit happens. So yeah, if you have a trivia question and you want to ask me the trivia question, feel free to drop it in the comments. Most likely I'm going to know it. If you're not asking me some outrageous question like somebody did at WrestleMania
from the
something
30s.
that happened in the 1930s and 40s, get off your high horse. I'm not answering those questions.
We need to get back to some games too, though. Just us. I mean, those were fun.
I don't want to accidentally stump Ryan again. It didn't work out well for me.
You loved it. Come on.
The weeks following that did not work out well for me.
But anyway, I'm out. I'll talk to you guys next week.
Deuces. See you later, everybody.
Deuces.
Read between the lines.
God.
We're trying to be PG here.
I believe in Joe Hendry.